extra.
Is that it?
No, there's more. You see, when...
Next up, when we first talked to Everett City Councilor Gurley Adrian last fall, her fellow council members had been pressuring her to resign. Their problem? She attended meetings remotely to protect her elderly parents, by the way. Adrian held her ground and her seat, but that was far from the first issue she'd had since she was sworn in as the first black woman in the council a year ago. It wasn't the last either. Yet when she's tried at times to raise issues about racism, both at City Hall and beyond, some of her colleagues have dismissed her concerns entirely, including City Councilor Wayne Matusky.
I have never heard of any racist complaints, really. If she knows something that I don't know about people being rude to people in this building or anywhere in the city, I just don't see it. I'm a Polish American. I'm really a minority myself here.
I don't even think I'm going to comment on that. But Adrian has, and in a Boston Globe op-ed yesterday, she wrote, "I am consistently criticized about my hair, my looks, how I speak. I am proud to be a black woman in politics. I will not change who I am or what I have to say." Everett City Councilor Gurley Adrian joins me now. Councilor, it's good to see you again.
Oh, it's nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
When you were here in November, the head of the city council had said you were a, quote, problem. You were trying to destroy the city. A former city councilor said you were a cancer on the city council. At that time, I read comments from many of your supporters who thought it had everything to do with their discomfort with having the first black woman as a colleague. Did you buy that?
Yes, very much so. Nobody else on the council gets the type of treatment that I do.
And have things improved? That was about 4 months ago when we spoke, 3 months ago. Have things improved in those intervening months between you and your colleagues?
Jim, sadly, it's weird. It still hasn't. I thought with the rally, with the supporters showing that I have support across the Commonwealth, I thought my colleagues would be at least a lot more receptive. And even with last night's council meeting, they're still just not a fan of me or my ideas.
And when you say not a fan of you, forget they're entitled to not be a fan of your ideas. Well, they're entitled to whatever they want. But is there animus towards you? Let me repeat. Is it because you're a black woman in a council that has never had one before? Is it still?
Well, Jim, I feel like that. As we saw in November, they labeled me too aggressive. They said my ideas were too bold for Everett. And those are common labels that we hear about black women. Yeah. And so yesterday in the Boston Globe, that's what I wrote about, being a black woman in politics and how I'm still going to be here and I plan on staying here.
I want to get back to your Globe piece in a minute. I want to stay for one more minute on how you were treated by your colleagues. And an issue arose at a meeting, I think it was last week, and the mayor, DeMaria, in the meeting said he found you distracting. And here's what part of what the mayor had to say.
I would love to be able to shut some pitches off for some people when they talk, because I just sometimes have a hard time when people are laughing and stuff. But
yes, let's keep it respectful, everyone, please.
Yeah. I mean, this is a very serious matter.
So the mayor was essentially saying he wanted to shut off your image. And when we contacted him today, he sent us a statement. Let me read it to you. "I observed a fellow official, he won't name you, being disrespectful toward me and dismissive of my position on the issue while I was speaking. I didn't consider it acceptable for such conduct to be directed at my fellow elected officials, but that also means it's not acceptable for those same individuals to direct that behavior toward me. Discussions about important public issues require equal and mutual respect for our focus to remain on advancing the important work of improving the quality of life for the residents and businesses of Everett." What's your reaction to what Mayor DeMaria said at the meeting and his statement that he sent to us today, Councilor?
You know, first, Jim, when I heard him say that during the city council, I knew that he was never going to say that type of comment to any other member. And just in general, I'm a woman. No man should ever speak to a person like that. No other elected officials should speak to another person like that. And listening to his statement, it sounds like there's no apology. He still has not learned that that is disrespectful, even with all the supporters that were tagging him on Twitter about how racist and how rude that was. It seems like he just does not understand. And that's the issue that I deal with on the council. No matter what I do or what I say, I could just not say a word during the council meetings, and it's still wrong. It's still something wrong. I have colleagues who are falling asleep. I have colleagues who are driving during meetings, and they don't get anything. No criticism, nothing.
You know, I watched the mayor's office asked, in addition to sending a statement, sent us 3 excerpts from the meeting to watch where your behavior was allegedly objectionable. And I saw you smiling several times. One of the times you were smiling was when he said, which I was smiling at, that he doesn't read social media except his own. You're laughing now. I laughed when I saw it. So apparently smiling